Hello everybody, how are we all? Thank you for joining me in my studio. It's been an epic week, so thank you so much for tuning in today. Excuse me. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Toni and I am a guest presenter on Create and Craft, the best place ever to be. I'm also a watercolourist, artist, studying, should we say, and the purpose of my studio is to show you guys at home things that I've learned, do's, don'ts, things I've thoroughly enjoyed, in the hope that you might pick up a paintbrush, pick up a pencil, a pen and replicate or do something you traditionally wouldn't do. So basically changing something typical to maybe something colourful. So I'd like to say before I go on, thank you for tuning into my last show, Let Us Inspire You. And you can see from my set here, they're the things that we're going to be using. As products sell out so fast, we don't traditionally get the opportunity to do demonstrations as much as we'd like. So this is why we have our studio, so we can show you more. So you can do more things with your products if you purchase them. So if you've got your products at home and they are in your hand and you're a little bit uncertain what to do with them, well, sit back, get a cup of tea, a cup of coffee and enjoy the show. If you are watching on YouTube, we now have the facility to comment. So if you have any questions, anything you'd like to see, anything you'd like to know, just pop the question in the comment box below on YouTube. We can automatically see it now. We have the facility to see it. And if I can answer the question, I will. If I can't answer the question, I'm certain I will be able to find out for you and get back to you. So like and share also for our YouTube channel. We are encroaching to the thousands of subscribers now, so it's just amazing. It's mind-boggling really, but thank you so much. But it is time to give back something when you've been purchasing our products. So just 1 second. The show must go on, as the greatest showman said. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some demonstrations on some of the letters that you have in your stash maybe at home. So first of all, I'm going to get a technique for you and I'm going to show you some white cardstock. And I'm going to put some ink on. So if you haven't got our big Eureka, you don't need the big Eureka at home. Please don't worry about it. You can do it on a glass mat. You can do it on one of those plastic mats, one of the Tim Holtz mats, you know, the facility, you can do it across a plethora of things. So I've just got some white cardstock, and this is a technique that we've done before, but I wanted to incorporate this technique in some of our latest products so you can get the most out of your products. So I'm going to use some of our new monochromatic inks. We launched these last week and they've flown out, so thank you so much if you purchased them. And again, I'm going to use them in this demonstration because I want you to get the most out of them at home. So I'm using MCO1 and MCO2. So let's have a look. So what I'm going to do is I've got my large Eureka and I'm going to do some colour swatching onto the white cardstock. So what I'm going to do is we'll go with one colour at a time because I don't want to contaminate. So I'm just going to get the ink pad. I'm just going to pop it on my door here. I'm just going to pop some face down onto the door, not too much because these are really juicy. And I'm going to spray with a little bit of water to dilute it down. So I'm just going to pick up the acetate, as you can see, and we're just going to pick up some of the ink. Now I'll just try and change angle for you there so you can see what's going on. I'm just going to get the acetate. This is just packaging acetate from one of our stamps. It's nothing expensive. And I'm just going to pop it in the ink and pick up some of this colour. Then all I'm going to do is I'm just going to drop it onto the card in various places. So don't be precise with it. It doesn't work if you're precise. This is a beautiful colour. I'm so pleased with these colours. I say it every time, this is probably my favourite, but then I'll do some more and they'll probably be my favourites. And so I do feel really sorry for you at home if you like the inks. So we'll just swap that out and pick some more of this one up. swap this one onto here. Now this is normal cardstock, so if your card starts to warp or cockle, I traditionally say, don't worry about it, it will dry back, just don't flood it because then you'll get the pill, which is not very pleasant. The pill when it's like the card pills back. So I'm just going to clean this piece of acetate off and the door. So I don't contaminate the colours. And I'm just going to blast this one off with my heat gun because I'm going to use a different colour, and the two colours I'm using, if you mix them together you don't get a particularly nice colour. So you can use your heat tool in your Eureka, just don't use it direct onto the sponge mat because it will burn, but like a light drying will be okay. So that's okay. And then I'm going to use the other one in the new collection, which is MCO. Let's just swap that one out for this one. Oops. So this one's MCO1, so this has got a green undertone. Just going to pop it on the door there, as you can see. Spray with a bit of water. These are quite dark, so just be careful because you don't want your card to be dark. So I'm just going to do a little bit of this actually and just see. Yeah, I'm just going to water it down a little bit more. Like so, and then just going to drop some of this lovely, these are beautiful colours. So this is a really good technique if you like your inky backgrounds but you don't like the ink physically on your fingers. This is really, really good technique. And don't forget, it's always good to have white spaces. Always good to have the white spaces in there, so don't feel like you have to fill them because you don't. Get some true colour on there now. Right, we'll leave it at that. So we'll just clean this one off. I'm already covered in ink. I suppose it's a sign of having a great time, so I'm told. I do love ink, as you all know. So that's nice and clean again. So I'm just going to blast this one off because we know what happens, don't we? Fingerprints occur. So blast this one off. I'm hoping you can see the lovely green in there because it is a really lovely colour. So if you've got the inks at home, the colours I'm using are MCO1 and MCO2, and these are your monochromatic inks. So before I go any further, what I'm going to do is I've got the lovely re-inkers as well. So these are the matching re-inkers to the ink pads that we've chosen. I'm just going to get the lovely green one, give it a good old shake because it is a colour that I've had made, specifically made. So, and I'm just going to pop a little bit in my well, just a tiny little bit. And I'm going to spray it with some water. And then I have my lovely abstract brush. I don't know if any of you have got these. I think a lot of you have already got them, but it's got a plastic end and it's the flicking motion, so you can get like the splatter effect. Now traditionally I used to do this with a toothbrush before I created this, and this gives beautiful beautiful splatter effect. So you can either tap it on the end of your finger, you can flick it with your, like so. I don't know if the camera's picking that one up, but there you go, you can see it now. So let's get some splatter on there too. So it's basically a tidier way of getting the effect onto your artwork without it going everywhere. It's more of a controlled fashion. So just pop that there. So we'll just dry this one off. So whilst I was on Create and Craft TV, I managed to get a couple of demos in, but not to the extent of using the lovely ink. So that's why I wanted to show you today that, you know, you don't have to traditionally use your papers. You can actually get really messy with them. So don't be scared to have a go. You know, it is just a bit of ink and a bit of paper. Now, if you don't have our generation inks, that's also okay. We're not here to push our products on you. Use what you've got in your stash. You know, you will have an ink pad of some form in your stash. You will have other people's products. Use those other people's products. You know, if you're picking up some techniques, I'm absolutely happy with that. It is about the techniques. Hints, tips and techniques, that's the way forward. So if you haven't got any of the products, please don't worry about it. I'm sure you could incorporate something in that you've got at home. So I'm going to use the letter H on this one because I hadn't had the chance to show this one. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to run this through the die cutting machine and I'm going to cut the H directly out of this watercolour card that we've created a lovely background on. Now, if you're not a dark and mystical person, you could do bright reds, bright yellows. Karen's done this one, and this one is in orange and yellow. So, you know, the variation is there for you to do. So I'm just going to get my plates. So I'm using the snap machine. I have also got a cut and boss as well, which is perfect also. So try and get things straight. The demonstration I did on TV saying the word thanks, it looked like it had a few gin and tonics. It was so funny. The tea was so wonky. You know, but it's live, isn't it, at the end of the day, so, but we have an amazing time at Create and Craft, so I hope you enjoy everything that we do at Create and Craft, because we do work hard. Well, everybody works hard. So I'm just going to see if this is cut, see if I might have to run it through twice, see if it's cut. No, it's cut perfect. So there you see the beautiful H there. Now, if you wanted to create two cards for the price of one, you could pop some colour behind this one and matte and layer it onto a card, and then you could just pop, so say for instance you could pop some black behind there so you get a large H like that, and then stamp the flowers within, or you could just put the H onto a card. So it's like two cards for the price of one. So if you're batch making, it's you know, it's amazing really. So let's clear the station. Oops, sorry about the head. So we're going to use our H, and what I'm going to do is we're going to stamp the letter H within to show you how beautiful they work together. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the ink pad that we've used to do our background, show you how beautiful they are. So they come on the carrier sheet like so. So you get your floral element, your foliage element, and then you get all the extra words on there, and you also get the 1.5 or 1 inch letter there, sorry, so you could create the full thanks, but you could also create H, and then the word there is for, and then you can put on your add-on elements. I'm sorry about the lighting earlier, the lights just went off and everything went black, so I think we're back on now. So you pop the H on there and it instantly creates the foliage element of it as well. So it gives you a guide as to where you need to put your foliage element. And like I said before, you know, don't be harsh on yourself. It's a stamp. You know, just have a go. If it doesn't stamp very well, or you stamp out of the lines or within the lines, you know, nobody's there to criticise. It's fun. So, oh, I've lined all that up now. I need to remove my magnet. Silly girl. Start again. So I'm just going to pop it down like so. In fact, for a guide, this is a little bit of a tip, and I showed this on telly. I'm going to place this back in here. So if it moves, I know I can place it back in place and stamp again, because there's no facility there to hold my magnet. So let's just hold this in place, and then I know if it moves, it doesn't matter. So let's start again. So pop it down. When you're happy, you've got sorry about the head. It's just difficult to try and line it up without being in shot. And I would like it to be good. So we'll go with that one. So I'm going to pick up the stamp. And we're going to use the green or blue. Go for the green. So I'm going to ink it up in the monochromatic green. So these were created so you would have a different style when you're stamping your cards. So instead of traditionally stamping in black, you could use these to stamp out your outlines, but they would have a coloured undertone. So this one is obviously black, but with a green undertone. So you will see what it looks like. Can we see that? So because it's obviously missed a little bit there, we'll add it again, add the detail. And the beauty of having a stamping aid is you can repeat it. So if you miss, you can keep going until you are absolutely happy. I think we'll go at it one more time because we can, and I want it to be really, really dark. That just looks amazing. So I'll just clean this one off. And then what we'll do is on the H you get your floral element. So what I explained earlier, is these parts here and these parts here, and we'll stamp them in as well, but we'll use the same colour. So you know, traditionally we'll probably grab a black ink pad, wouldn't we? But we're going to stick to the same colour palette with the blue and green. Right, so we'll go for the flower element first. So keep it simple. If you try and do both, it's difficult. And I've tried it and it's quite stressful. So do them as separate entities. It really does help. So I'm just going to pop that in there. Let's move the stamp. And we'll swap the green ink pad out for the blue one, MCO2. See that there? Go for it again. So it's coming together now. So what we'll do is we'll swap that one out for the foliage element, and we'll swap it out back to the green. So the indicator is there to show you where it needs to be where it needs to line up. There we go. So I'll swap this one out for the green one this time. See there how you get the 1mm border around your foliage? It really does help. And when I was creating these, I like to stamp. Am I good at it? I think I'm okay at it. Do I think I'm amazing? No. That 1mm border there really does help. So you have got the facility, you know, for a little bit of a drop shadow or something like that. So just looks amazing. So what I'm going to do is we'll just swap this out. Just going to put my heat gun over it quickly. So let's get this card put together so you can see how lovely it looks. Just put this in here. We need to put on there the add-on element, so let's go for husband. H is for husband. Shall we go with that one? They do generally get left out, don't they, bless them, so we'll add them on this one. So in every stamp set you get the word is for, so you can use it if you want, you don't have to use it, but the facility is there to use it. So we'll do is for in the centre there, and we'll go for husband right underneath. You can stamp these together, so we'll go for it like that. And to make this absolutely pop, we'll go for black. Go for it again. There we have it, look. That looks really lovely. So, let's get this mounted onto a card. So any comments, you can leave comments, questions. Did you buy one of the sets? Which set did you buy? Which one did you think would be more fitting for yourself? I do believe T has been the most popular, which is amazing, which I did guess on TV that T would be the most popular, but you know, which one did you buy? What have you been doing with yours? So what I'm going to do is take the H out, and we'll get this matted onto this black piece of card. I'm just going to move this Eureka so you can all see what I'm doing. We'll just go for glue for speed. So what I would normally do is do the hidden message element of it. I would probably mount it up and make it look like a hidden message, but for this one I'm going to do it flat. Something a little bit different. So you could actually leave it black and heat emboss your flowers into this area here. You know, the black looks amazing behind, and then the H that you've got, what you've die cut out, you could mat and lay it onto a separate card and create another card like I said earlier. So, you know, talk about 2 cards for the price of 1. Does anybody, I've just seen a comment there, hoping to play at the weekend. So if the weather's rubbish, I think we'll all be playing, won't we? So, so I'm just going to mount this onto the card. Don't want an Australian card. I'm getting very good at Australian cards of late. If anybody's, have some of you's been picking up on it for some reason. I just, even though I check, I still do upside down cards. Just move this out of the way. And then this one, you could put pads behind and 3D if you want to, but I'm not. I'm going to slot it straight back into the gap, just to be a little bit different. You could also die cut your flower element because the die facility is there as well. You get the coordinating die, so if you want to die cut the flower element and build it up and create a bit of a bouquet, you can also do that as well. So it's not, you're probably thinking, well, why did you die cut that? The reason I die cut it is because it's created dimension just from the die cut line. I can see the die cut line. It looks really, really lovely. So cards don't always have to be built up and be a hidden message. There we go. So you can see the inky background, you can see the die cut lines. So that's just a masculine card, should we say. So you try the colours you like at home, just try something different, you know, you don't have to use pattern papers, white cardstock, you know, you do what you love to do, I would suggest. So just pop that to one side and we'll move on to our second demonstration. I'll just get my Eureka back. So if you are liking any of the products, I have got a product number for you, so if you've not already got it, and the item number is 220818. And if you go to the website, pop that in the search engine, it'll bring up all of our latest products really. And you can buy, if you want to, you can buy the letters just as a stamp, one of, or a die, or the bundle, or whatever, you know, suits you really. So if there's just one thing on there that you think, oh, I would actually use that one, then have a look at there, and that's the code for it. Right, so let's move on to our next card. So this time I'm going to stamp the letter in solid black, just to show you a little bit of a technique. So I've matte and layered some white cardstock onto some black, and this time we will use the letter K. So I'm using all of the letters that I didn't really get a chance to demonstrate on TV, so you can see the versatility of them all. So we'll use the letter K for this one. Place it face down. Oh, shall we use the letter T? I want to do it. Yeah, sorry, my apologies. We're going to use the letter T because I want to show you a technique. No, we're not going to use the letter T. We're going to use the letter K. Ignore me. It's been a long day. So, K, pop it face down. And we're going to use black for this one. I'll show you how lovely it stamps out. So black ink all over. So you will have to repeat stamp this to get a truly solid black image, but it does look amazing and it is worth it. And go for it again. You know, just while I'm inking this up, does anybody else sometimes feel like they've lost their creativity a little bit? You know, you put your hand on all these amazing products and then all of a sudden your creativity just jumps out of the window. And I felt a little bit like that this week. Now, I'm not sure why. I've got all these great stuff and great products, and you know, I have struggled this week. Now maybe it's because it's been such a hectic week and I've not had a chance to physically sit and, you know, stroke and touch and enjoy them, but I think my creativity jumped out of the window this week a little bit. So I'm hoping everybody else is still in their house and hasn't jumped out of the window, because mine's gone. Hopefully I'll get it back tomorrow. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do the floral element of it. Let's clean this one off. So each floral element in each letter set is different. So by all means you can cross them and use them in different ways, but they come differently. So this one's got 3 and I can see straight away where it needs to go. There is a border as well, so I'm just going to pop it in there. I'm just going to lean forward slightly. And you know what, if it doesn't line up, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. It looks beautiful regardless. I would never create something that was too difficult or took too long. So let's go for a pink and a green on this one. So you can see the delicate floral there, but if you want to add more you can, and because that pink's a little bit light, I'm going to swap it out for a red so you can see it, because I really do want you to see it at home. There we go, it's a little bit better. I'm just going to do it one more time. So we'll change this one out for the green foliage. So a couple of things to tell you all about. As from our next studio live, our next studio lives will be on a Wednesday, but we will be bringing it forward by 1 hour. 6 o'clock. We've had quite a bit of feedback, and I'm not saying it's going to stay at that time, but we're going to try it. So we're going to see how we get on starting at 6 o'clock rather than 7. If we find it works, that's amazing. If we find it doesn't work, we will be reverting back to 7. But you know, we are open to these things and we will try these things. At the end of the day, it's you guys at home that count. So feedback is imperative to us. So we're going to try 6 o'clock. So next Wednesday, 6 o'clock will be our studio lives, which is what I'm doing here now. And then Thursdays will always be our sneak peek Facebook lives, where it's a little bit more relaxed. Tom's normally on the scene, so you'll always be able to have a giggle, but it will be me predominantly showing you brand new products and some samples for the up and coming shows. So Wednesday 6 o'clock studio, Thursday 6 o'clock Facebook lives. So just so you're aware. So I'm just going to put this floral element in, and I've pasted it face down, and I'm just going to pop it down like so. We'll bring these magnets in a little bit closer, and we will do these in green, so you'll see the instant lift it gives this K. Also as well, we have our Eureka fan page. For those of you that are not on our Eureka fan page, you seriously need to get on the Eureka fan page, because there are some smashing makes from customers. There are some smashing makes from our design team. You don't have to be amazing if you're just starting out for the first time. Stamping, colouring, playing, you know, post your makes, get some inspiration. If you're not the most confident, I'm absolutely certain that given a few weeks on the Eureka fan page, it will give you that confidence you need to either pick up a brush or just to have a play. It's honestly an amazing place. And sometimes if I'm feeling a little bit tired, you know, I'm a mum at the end of the day as well, sometimes I'm tired, all I have to do is go on the Eureka fan page and see people's makes, and it really cheers me up. I'm normally chasing my partner around the house going, have you seen this? Why didn't I think of that? Have you seen that? Why did I think of that? That's just amazing. So it is lovely. So let's get this card constructed. Now we have busy lives. Everybody has a busy life or some dramas in their life. So it is a lovely place to go and just, you know, take a little bit of time out. So ahead of time, running out of space slowly, ahead of time I have gone and got some lovely patterned papers and things like that. So I just wanted to show you how amazing these look on patterned papers. So I'm just going to go ahead and put glue on this, because it's a lot quicker live in the studio just to use a bit of glue. Make sure my card's right. And then we've got some patterned 1.5 inch stripes, and I've coordinated them with the black as well. So I'm just going to pop these on. So I could do 2 stripes, you could do whatever you wanted. Now you're probably thinking, she hasn't cut that straight, look at that, it's hung over there and it's hung over there. That's just what I like. Sorry, I don't like anything to be like, I do like things to be lined up perfectly and things like that, but I think it just gives it a little bit of a creative edge, and I love anything that's inspirational, creative, you know. You know what I'm like at home, guys. And then one over this end. And put some pads behind this one. So if anybody's wanting 3D foam pads and hasn't got these ones that I'm using, I wouldn't recommend anything I wouldn't use myself, but these Create and Craft pads are really, really good. They peel off quickly, they, you know, they're large, you get a variation of sizes, you can double pad, they do them in black as well. So if you're struggling thinking I can't find something, because it's like I said the other day, once I find something I love it, I find it difficult to change. So I'm just going to pop this one maybe here. Not to touch too much, I don't want a fingerprint. And then just move this out of the way. I'm just going to get this and get the lovely sentiment from one of the stamp sets. So let's go with what's in K. So if somebody has bought K, they've got everything they need. So we'll go for this one. So ahead of time, I've matte and laid some white onto some black. So what a wonderful world this would be if everyone's life could be touched by someone as kind and sharing as you. So, and a beautiful sentiment. And I think I'm going to go for it one more time. So I'm just, because as you all know me very well, blast it off because I will get a fingerprint. It's inevitable. So you could do it spodgy side. I think I am going to just pop it under here, or maybe, yeah, we'll just pop a pad in this little corner and we'll do it there. There we have yet another amazing card. So that's using pattern paper, just a completely different concept again. So last one using inks, this one just using pattern paper. So you know, you spend a lot of money on these products, we need to make sure that you get the absolute most out of them. Right, so I'm being asked, what black card do you use, Toni? I use Linda Chapman's black card from Create and Craft. It's amazing. And she gets it from Italy, and you can just tell it's inexpensive. You get a big block, and I just use it all the time. and it's quite thick. So if I want to do, you know how I do the top folding note cards, I do make them myself. It's amazing for that as well. So it's probably on Create and Craft's website now as we speak. So Linda Chapman's black card is probably what's going to get me to the Diamond Club. If you're all collecting your points, then the foam pads and black card is going to get me there. I'm sure of it, eventually. I know Adele, you're already there, cheeky, spending all your money. But I'm nowhere near, to be honest. But like I say, I just get my staple items from there, black card, pads, tape, things like that. So that's another card, so we'll move that one out of the way. So we're going to do a little card this time to show you that if you're not a fan of big cards, you can also do little ones. So let's get rid of that one and we'll go for A this time. Have we done an A? No. So we'll go for A. So A is for amazing, awesome, a day to remember. This is quite a good one as well. I think this one's following the line of T. So it's got a better place. You make the whole world a better place. Make today awesome. Have a truly amazing day, you know. So you could use these over a plethora of cards. So what I'm going to do is I have a piece of black card. I'm just going to show you a little technique. So in this A, you only get one little flower head. But like I said before, don't forget you can mix and match them. It is okay to do that. There are no rules. We don't have any rules, which is good really, because I can see that everybody does different things. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to randomly spot this around, create a bit of a background. And we'll use MCO2 because this is a dark blue. So it helps if you pick the stamp up first. So pick up the stamp and we're just going to create a bit of a random background. So it's going to be in the background, so it doesn't have to be like in your face. So 1, so I'm not going to be too careful with it because like I say, it's just going to create a lovely background. So I am speeding through this, so I hope you understand what I'm doing. So, and don't forget to always stamp some off page and on page, because that is what, you know, it's not sterile then if you do it off and on page. So just random flowers. And I'll just put one there. So when you're happy you've got enough, which we're getting there, we'll just do one little one here. So that's enough for that one. What I'm just going to do is I'm just going to blast it off with my gun. So our Generation inks, just a quick explanation then, they are water based. You can watercolour with them, you can dilute them down. However, when they are dry, they are permanent, so they are perfect for your Copic colouring, your alcohol colouring. So it's 2 bites of the cherry really. But what I would say is always make sure the ink is dry. If it's not dry, it will bleed. Any ink bleeds when it's dry, not dry. So blast it off with your gun to ensure it is thoroughly dry, and you can use it with your alcohol markers. It's amazing. So I'm just going to show you a little bit of a technique now. So I've got a grey marker here, and I'm not going to create a shadow. I'm just going to go within the flower because it's on grey cardstock. You will be able to see how it looks. So this is, for anybody that uses Copics at home, C4. Okay, and I'm going to put it on and it will be dark, but it will dry lighter. The alcohol will evaporate. You see that there? Just get. That's it, thank you. So I'm just going to create a shadow within the lines. Nothing too much. And it will give it an instant lift, but remember this is a background, so we don't have to spend too much time on it. It's so silly, you know, this is my studio, this is my time, but I still shake. So I'm sorry about the shakes, everybody at home. I still get the shakes. I'm sure it will go eventually. So I'm just going to highlight some of the areas. You can already see the difference. So this has just been done, and this, can you see how this is drying lighter? So it's instantaneously creating a shadow within that flower. Now, if you haven't got a grey marker in your stash, you need to get one. Just a light colour, because you will use it all the time to create shadows around flowers, make them look dimensional. You need a grey pen to make white flowers look white. So try and invest in a pen. It doesn't have to be an expensive one. This is an alcohol marker, a grey one, but you know, any pen, just get one, a grey one, and just have a play. You will be absolutely surprised what you can achieve with a grey pen. So I'm just going to quickly add dimension to the rest of the flowers. Not too much detail. And then we'll move on. If you wanted to go around the outside of the flower so it looks like it was 3D, you can do that also. But you don't be governed by me. You know, you've got your own time at home, you've got your own space, you've got your own products, you know, you play and just enjoy it. Life's too short not to enjoy these things. So, you know, get everything out, have a good play if you get the opportunity, that is. So we'll just leave that, and that will dry back lighter. So we'll just move that to one side for now. So in the die set for A, you get the letter A, which is a small letter. So in all of the dies, you get the coordinating flower element of it, but you also get the little 1-inch A as well. So if you saw my demonstration on Create and Craft, you would have seen that I did the letter thanks straight across the DL card, and me personally, I thought it looked really, really lovely. So but you can use the letters as an entity on their own, because if you remember what I said in the stamp set, all of the stamp sets have is for inside, so A is for. So if you get the die element, you can coordinate them. So I'm just going to run this through my die cutting machine. So you could cut a few of these and 3D them, you know, so you get like an embellishment. You all know I'm a fan of that. So, but I'm just going to go for it. I just need one. And I'm wondering, why is that moving? It's sticking to my magnet on my Eureka. So stick it down. So I'm just going to run this through the die cutting machine. So while that's running through, I've got this here, and we'll use one of our elements on here. So A is for, does anybody want to pick one? Let's have a look. Just make sure it's cut, which it has, lovely. So I'll just grab a pokey tool just to pop it out, and then you'll be able to see how amazing these 1-inch strips are, because they are really, 1-inch words, sorry, they are really, really lovely. So they're a good bulky font, you can see there, look. They are really, really lovely. So we will go for A. ridiculously awesome. That's a cool one, isn't it? So today and always, let's go for that one. Or should I change mine? Hold your head high, you are amazing. That's the one. Everybody should do that. So I'm just going to pop this in here, and we'll just pop the sentiment in the middle. And stamp it in black. Just in case. Get this card constructed. So ahead of time, I've got a card with some blue coloured cardstock on, and I'm just gonna stick this one down. Give that a second to adhere. So you can see there how the flowers have got dimension just from that pen. Now you would obviously take more time at home and add more detail. I just did it for speed, but you know, it's a great way to add depth to flowers is with a grey pen. And I will probably use a grey pen in every live studio because unfortunately that's what I'd use all the time. So this one I'm going to put some pads behind. So put that on there, and then we'll get our A. Just use my precision tip for this one. So we are quickly running out of time, which is sad. However, it's not a bad thing. I hope you've got some inspiration from anything I've done this evening, and it's encouraged you to maybe pick something up you have at home in your stash and you know, trying something new. Just having a look at the comments before I do wrap this up. So you can pop the A on there without getting glue everywhere. And then when it's stuck in place, it looks. So excuse the glue everywhere. It will dry clear, so I'm not overly concerned. But there is the card, complete. And this is a masculine card, but here is one that I used for inspiration, and this is a lovely Elaine off the DT. Sorry, Marilyn. Marilyn will kill me for saying that now. No, she won't really. But that's Marilyn. So you know, you can pattern papers and things like that, but you can create some amazing looking cards. So all I can say is I hope you've enjoyed this evening's live studio. I hope you've been commenting, and please like and share and subscribe, of course. But thank you very much, and I will catch you all later. Don't forget to tune in on Saturday 11 o'clock. Brand new stuff coming. Take care.